Hey everybody, Jeff Bromley here from Thingee, and welcome back to Tech Talk, where we talk about all things digital. Today we're going to talk about a brief history lesson about where technology has come from and where technology is going, and where technology is going specifically inside of life sciences. But before we do that, I have one favor to ask. If you could please like and share across all the social media platforms of your choice, I would greatly appreciate it. So with that, let's talk about technology and our history lesson. Technology is happening fast. We've seen it. It seems to be accelerating over the past few years, faster than we could ever have imagined. So there's a lot of neat things that are going on, from virtual reality. Now, virtual reality has been around for decades. I mean, I remember 20 plus years ago wearing these giant helmet over my head, and now we have these wonderful goggles that fit on. You have things like the iPad. The iPad has progressed. The iPad has helped change the way people are mobile computing. The iPad, the iPhone, Alexa's changing the way we're doing things. Alexa and Google Home and the whole host of virtual assistants that are out there that we can talk to, as well as the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is changing the way we're doing our job. We have clients with IoT buttons that they're rolling out to the field to help their HCPs to be able to communicate with them. So that could be HCPs, that could be patients. But we're going to talk more about that a little bit later. But before we do that, let's take a dive and do a quick history review and think about where we came from and some of the things that people thought potentially were impossible that are now possible. So you have the automobile. The automobile was out there, and people, there was a lot of people that looked at it strangely. I can still remember my grandfather telling me stories about when he was younger, grew up through the Great Depression, grew up through the advent of the automobile and the Industrial Revolution, and he always preferred his horse and carriage buggy to deliver the milk. That was one of his jobs, and eventually he got to be more comfortable with using automobiles, but he always preferred having a horse and buggy. Taking flight. People look at taking flight as something now we take for granted. Back in the day, they looked at the Wright brothers like, you're crazy. There's no way you're going to get this thing to fly. And now, traveling around the country, traveling to multiple clients and traveling to multiple locales for different conferences, it's commonplace. I see friends on Facebook that are traveling every day, that are in Newark Airport or traveling back to Newark Airport. So people are doing this on a daily basis, and we took this for granted. And the man on the moon. Well, you think about the man on the moon and the Herculean effort that we had to do in order to be able to put a man on the moon. Well, now we're going to the moon. Now we're looking at Mars. Now we're looking at, colonizing other planets. There's some crazy things. There's a Tesla floating around in space right now. So, you think about all those things, and where we came from, it's moving pretty fast. So, some recent technology innovations that people have taken for granted as well is Amazon. Think about Amazon. Amazon was selling books. They were selling retail books and shipping them to your house. Now, almost everybody uses Amazon to purchase things. It's there. It's ubiquitous. And I mean, honestly, the UPS guy is just my Amazon delivery guy. He's coming every single day. Netflix and Blockbuster. Blockbuster, who remembers Blockbuster? I mean, they've been gone for, almost a decade now. And now everybody, rather than having that experience of going to Blockbuster to shop in the store and spend 45 minutes to an hour to find the movie, now they sit and sift through Netflix on their Apple TV, spending 45 minutes to an hour in their living room, trying to figure out what television it is that they want to watch. When you think about Blue Apron and Fresh Direct, people used to go to the grocery stores to buy all these groceries and then figure out a recipe that was in a book. And now they just send you in the mail this wonderful care package of all the things that you need to make a delicious meal, even if you don't know how to cook, in your own home. So it's done lots and lots and lots of great things. Super happy about it, and my wife and I have had some phenomenal meals. And Apple just keeps changing everything on a daily basis. When you think about all of the stuff that's in this phone, all the things that you needed to carry around individually. There's a picture somewhere on the internet where it shows the Walkman and the camcorder and the television, and all of these things they're now in here. This is the one device. You don't need everything else. They've managed to miniaturize everything. So think about how crazy that technology is right now. And yeah, I mean, thinking back to this, I mean, I have a beautiful digital camera that I used to take pictures, but I don't need that anymore. I'm using this to take my pictures. Don't tell my wife how much I spent on that camera either. So. You know, and thinking about all of those technological changes and thinking about that is overall with all the people that on a daily basis, let's think about how some of those changes in life sciences. So, you know, iPads and detail aids. I mean, these things have been around since the invention of the pharmaceutical sales rep. You know, we've had paper detail aids and we've had flash drives and we've had CD-ROMs. I can't tell you how many CD-ROMs we've mailed out and stuck labels on and DVDs and, you know, we had lots of crazy things that people used to do in order to get their sales reps up to date. Now we just have things like iPads and things like our product iDetail that allows them to just take these things on the road, get updates immediately. It's absolutely wonderful. The IoT button, talked a little bit about that before, but think about it now. We have, you know, everybody remembers the easy button that Staples put out, and I'm surprised that Staples never capitalized on this, but they had an easy button, and it was very novel, and you pushed it and it said that was easy. Now we have these buttons that can actually connect to somewhere with one button push to be able to connect HCPs to patients, patients to pharmaceutical companies, HCPs to pharmaceutical companies, clinical trial patients to trial centers. We could do some amazing things inside of life science with these new IoT buttons. It's really quite amazing. And then last but not least, all of these marketing and events. We have you ever looked up at a trade show recently and looked at the event? And if you look up, you'll see wireless repeaters throughout the entire trade show floor in the event. Now we're actually connected on a trade show floor. I remember, you know, not too long ago when we had to make sure that we brought all of the servers and we had to set up this local area network to get all of these computers or iPads, everything working all together. Well, now we can connect to the internet. So all of those cloud computing services that we were kind of worried and we'd have spotty internet at certain shows, so we had to bring everything locally. Now we just connect to the internet. It's made our lives amazing. So when you think about it, when an HCP walks up and they're at a specific booth and they scan their badge in, we can capture their information in real time, give it to the marketers, be able to send them an email, whether it be real time or the evening of that event, and being able to have this new experience around trade shows and events. Not to mention how we can tie in IoT buttons and virtual reality and more iPad stuff. So it's really quite amazing how all of this technology has moved so fast over the past century. And I'm super excited to see where it's going to go. So with that, I implore you to just jump in feet first and not be afraid. If you are afraid, if you have a fear, if you're somebody that is risk averse, that is okay. We're going to talk about how to overcome those fears in a future video. But for now, I suggest jump in, just do it. Just, you know, be very Nike about it. Just do it, jump in, get your feet wet, start learning about it, start understanding it, and start doing things with these new technologies. If you want to talk to me about these things, I'm offering a free consultation to pick my brain to talk about these technologies and how to bring those to your business. So with all the things we've learned right now, I suggest just do it. And for this Tech Talk, I'm Jeff Bromley. Thanks.